All right, hello everyone. So today, right, we have Miss Chloe, right, for today's interview, right, and Chloe is someone that I've wanted for a long time, right, because she has really been in the space of not just investing, right, and speaking. And one thing I love about her, right, is her really that drive for constantly growing, learning, trying out new stuff, right, and really because of that, she has made multiple breakthroughs, right. I think both internally and externally as well, man. So yeah, Chloe, you want to start off a little bit to share a bit about yourself before we begin today's interview?
All right, thank you so much, Mark, for like really welcoming me. I really feel that this is such an honor to be interviewed by your side as well, because I feel like you have grown tremendously as a person. Your business has grown over the years as well. I'm like super looking forward to actually this interview as well. So yeah, my name is Chloe, and I'm actually one of the key speakers in from the Next Level team, where we really focus a lot on investment education. Of course, there's also another business side that they are also having courses as well, but for my side, I'm more in terms of the investing side, and I also run my own YouTube channel, my TikTok channel, my Telegram channel as well, so that I could build out my personal brands as well. So really looking forward.
Yeah, so we were gonna start. We'll definitely talk about the YouTube, TikTok, the site, right? But I'll start off with like your journey didn't like it's not like you woke up one day after you graduated that you wanted to be a speaker master, right? Because you actually start off in the communications, the media industry. So you share a little bit about like what got you that desire, right, to actually enter the space of investing, of speaking and
Uh-huh.
training in the future, right? Like was it instant? Like what happened during that point of time?
Okay, so there was a period of time actually I was a reporter at first, right? So I think I always love to have this opportunity of sharing something, can be a knowledge, through writing forms, and that's why I chose communication, because I thought that this is a way for me to exert my influence as well. So I think my desire was always there, but last time I just didn't have the courage to step up, to be in front of the camera or in front of the audience to speak. So I think I was given this opportunity when I already started my investing journey back then, and because I see it's important to start investing, because my dad actually got retrenched, and that really got myself thinking about, wow, if I just continue to work climbing corporate ladders, who knows, maybe one day I also got retrenched and I have no other source of income. How dangerous is that, right? So that got me started investing, and along the way, as I continue to help out in the community, I really enjoy the process of communicating with students, speaking as well. So there was one time when Sean, he was running a Japan boot camp, and then he's asking, oh, how many of you actually know Japanese? Maybe you can go there to teach together. So I was like, oh yeah, I know. And that's how the whole journey actually gets started. When we went to Japan, that I was actually given this opportunity to teach Japanese students, and then at first we're actually still teaching in English because there's translators over there. But I can see that people are struggling, because imagine you have translation coming in, but then your teacher is really speaking a different language. Then I asked the class, I say, hey, how many of you how many of you are okay with me using very simple Japanese to communicate with you, so that we can really teach you in even kids can understand kind of language? And they're okay. And that's how I really officially become one of the speakers, especially training the Japanese students, because I do speak Japanese, although not like super high level professional, but I think people can understand. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I love it because it was something that you used, right? And something
Yeah.
that you had an opportunity and you took advantage of it, right? And I
Yes.
think you had that, of course, you had courage to say, hey, how about we do something different from what was originally intended? And I think that what led you to trading, speaking overseas, right, in other multiple countries, right, and really represent the company on an international level, right? But I was curious, right? Like, from what I hear, you started your journey investing because you were interested and then you just enjoyed sharing and learning, right? So when you decide to like, okay, I'm going to quit my job,
Mm.
right? To really do this full time. And was it a scary decision? And so, like, how do you address it? Some of the conversations around that because it's not the most
Okay. Yeah.
traditional industry in the world.
Yes, that's right. I totally understand that it's a leap of faith, because this is something that I'm totally not familiar with. Actually, back then I was together with one of my business partner as well, and then he was just saying, "Hey, you want to consider quitting your job?" Then I was like, "Wow, but there's a lot of uncertainty ahead. Who knows? That maybe I cannot be a very great speaker after all." But then he said, "No, lah, just give it a go." And then actually he was a person who encouraged me, and then that really made me take that leap of faith, and just decided, so okay, why not I just quit and test it out. We started this business together. Back then it's actually called Invest Travel Play, where we also conduct courses, skill future claimable, teaching people how to invest. And that's how I think that slowly took off. And eventually I officially joined Sean's team because I feel like Sean has a lot of network, has a lot of resources that I can also be given opportunities to leverage on. And that's when I become part of the next level team members to be one of the key speakers right now. But I have to say that the initial phase of quitting my job, starting out my own business, teaching people about investing is quite scary. But I think that really gives me a lot of confidence in myself that actually I can do it, right? And then if you just test it out, there's nothing to lose, right? What the worst thing is that like you have this thought and you never go and execute it and you end up regretting it, right? And I do not want to regret. And most importantly is if it really didn't work out well, I can always go back to find another job, right? So there's nothing worse than not trying, I think. Yeah.
Okay, I like it, right? Because a lot of people, when they're scared, right, they just immediately just not do it. But you thought about it logically, right? To say, hey, what's the worst case? I can always go back, right? To just doing what I did. Life can just be normal. I can invest, and then life will be just fine. But so going through a little bit of the word like courage or fear, right? So obviously, because I think now we are active on Edge, on TikTok, on YouTube, right? Like, was there any fear of like what would people think about me? Right, when she entered the speaking, training, putting herself out there, right, like this whole guru level, right, which a lot of people talk about, like how do you address those conversations for yourself? Because it's something that a lot of people, I think, they struggle with, or their fear of, and that's why they're stopping them from really putting their message out to the world that could impact lots of lives. How do you address that for you?
I think at first I was a little bit concerned about how people view me, but over time I start to really enjoy the process of not caring about what people think. Because recently I started my TikTok channel, and then the 2 videos I created about options, there are a lot of negative comments, right? Because I'm using scenarios that it's just as a form of example, but most people don't get it. They think that I'm like very bimbotic, go and say, hey, you can try lah, how can you do that in real life? So there's all of these kind of negative comments. But I was like, hey, actually, because of all these negative comments, it pushed out the video, and you get to have more people watching your videos, and people who understand, they will actually end up following you, right? So that's how I also see more people following my Telegram channel ever since I started TikTok about 1 month ago. And the growth has been tremendous. I really highly encourage anybody who wants to start content creation, really start with TikTok, because within 1 month's time, my channel grew from like 44 followers, because only friends following me, to right now more than close to 25,000 followers within just 1 month. I think it's just amazing. So don't care about what people think of you, because there will be negativity for sure, but focus on who you want to help, right? And there are so many people who join my Telegram because they are like, for example, they see the videos on TikTok and they see that it's educational, it's engaging, it's interesting, and that's why they want to come and learn more. So focus on your end objective. Yeah. Then on the other hand, with all these negative comments, I believe every single one of them have their own struggles as well. So sometimes they can be keyboard warrior, but actually in real life they could be very nice people. So don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
I think it's a very direct way to just address the fact that there will always be negative comments, right? The question is focusing on what you do best, right? What's your why, right? And realizing that, hey, in there, some of them might even turn out to be followers and even bias, which definitely happens right across the period as well. And so moving a little bit into, so one thing about Chloe, right, is to me, right, she has what I call the best of the 2 biggest high income skills, right? Investing, trading, right? And of course, speaking, training, right? And marketing and sales, right? So she has both. I'm going to address both to really just folks can learn. But speaking about the part on TikTok, right? So how do you because a lot of people they get very stuck in their ways, right? Or it's very hard to change. Even myself sometimes, right? So how do you actually how do you feel like you nurtured that desire or that growth to always try new things, to be innovative, to be adaptable, right? Was it nurtured? Was it nature? Like you share a little bit about your perspectives?
I think it's really nurtured. I think in the past I was not like that. I was more scared, I doubt myself, hey, whether I'd be able to do that. But I think over time, when you surround yourself with the right environment, and the environment is so encouraging, and the environment, the key philosophy behind it, it's about testing and learning, which I think is what Sean embodies. That really just set a different level to how I play the game, because I see people are doing that, people around me are doing that. You really feel motivated and encouraged to say that, hey, if they are doing that and they also have failure as well, but they have fun testing and learning, then why not I go and have fun as well? So I think your mindset will start to shift as you surround yourself with the right network, the right environment. And of course, you need to also take that discipline to constantly want to improve yourself by, let's say, for example, reading more books, attending mastermind, leveling up your skill set through attending classes as well, training, coaching. I think all these will help to build up yourself as a character and then build up your skill set as a person as well.
Nice, right? So I think from what I'm hearing, it's just really about surrounding yourself with the right people, the right knowledge, the right mindsets, right? That's number one.
Yeah.
And I love how you actually have fun while doing it, right? Which is also cool because your first company was a company of fun, right? With investing as well. So I'm just this a bit curious, not your usual questions, right? But how do you like, was fun something that you got straight from young? Like, how did you nurture more fun? Or if you had to, let's say, coach some of your students, your mentees, I know some of them are like millionaires and whatnot, but if you actually have to coach them or share them how to have more fun, right? Because I think a lot of people, when in this space, right, speaking, training, coaching, entrepreneurship, right, even myself, right, we tend to just focus and we not really enjoy the process or have fun, right? How would you approach that? How would you address that if someone was trying to include the element to their life?
Okay, so it's very interesting. This morning when I woke up, right, I basically I placed some of my dream board, my goal list in my room as well, so that I can visually see it every day. And one of the things that it's actually given by one of our business partner. It's called Momentum Molly. Basically, it's you shape how many life do you left are you left off with. So 1 week is one box. So I'm 31 years old this year. Basically, I shaded about already 1/3 of my life. So I just look at what is left. It's, let's say, about less than 2/3, right? So what can I was thinking, why if every single day is so precious, like your box just gets shaded away so easily, because 1 year, like right now is almost April already, right? Close to half a year is already gone. So really use this to encourage yourself to really live life to the fullest, because you can never turn back time. So why not have fun, right? You're definitely going to live your life, right? Then you can choose to live it miserably, complain about it, or you can choose to live it positively and have fun every single day. So I think it's about cultivating that gratitude and cultivating that. I think gratitude is the most important thing. In the past, I didn't have that. And I also didn't see the importance of gratitude until I make major mistakes in my relationship and whatsoever, that I start to learn that actually most important thing is you are grateful for what you have. And then you will start to attract more abundance in your life as well.
Right. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, right? If I look at it, it's like because you think about death, right? Because you think about at the end of the days, right? Like, are you going to look back, right, and to say, hey, I'm going to regret what I did or didn't, right? And I think that's what they approach you, right? And of course, grounding yourself, gratitude, which I also believe is the most powerful emotion in the entire world, right? So that's great. So okay, on the flip side, so fun, right? On the other hand, right, the things that the speaking space, entrepreneurship space, in the media, right, space, people always like to paint a very beautiful, right, nice, right, exciting picture, right? So I'm just curious on two of your approaches to because of your energy, right? But how do you actually approach number one, right? I mean, of course, we know that the whole wherever space you're in, right, there's going to be ups and downs, right? Sometimes getting results might not take as fast as you like. So how do you handle maybe patience with your own results sometimes, especially you're starting out in your business, your speaking journey? I knew it was not like instant, right? For example,
definitely not instant.
Right. And I think number two is how do you manage like stress, right? Especially in this space where there can be a lot of pressure on you, right? And you're always needed to be on the ball for everyone around you, right? Your clients, your customers, your colleagues, your people, right? How do you actually approach these two areas of your life?
Okay, I think the first question is, it's not instant. So how do I handle patience? I think in the past, I was also very impatient. I think even to today, I don't think I'm the most patient person, but it's just through some of the books I read. For example, recently I read this book by Gary Vee. It's 12 and a half. I think this is a great book about different values that any entrepreneur or like content creators should cultivate. And one of them is talking about patience. It's about, like, I think it's at the end of the day, it's not trying to compete with other people, but just getting better compared to yourself yesterday, right? And in fact, this is also what Charlie Munger said, right? You just improve 1% every single day. At the end of the day, right, your impact is tremendous. It's exponential that you cannot see it right now. So if you just focus on taking one step at a time, just focus on improving a little bit every single day, that as long as you're better than yesterday, I think over time, your skill set, your ability is just going to compound exponentially, the crazy that you cannot foresee right now. So I think patience is just taking one step at a time. And the second question that you talk about, what was your second question again?
Yeah. So managing stress, try to handle the downs, right? For you.
So I think definitely sometimes there will be stress, like because there are so many things I need to do, creating content, speaking as well. But I think firstly, I'm very fortunate to have a team, right? Like I do not have to do everything by myself. So I really think like Mark is great, like how can you manage so many things by yourself? Like of course you're hiring a team as well. But then I think having this position is definitely not easy because you are definitely having more stress than other people. For myself, I think I'm very fortunate because I have a team. I do not have to worry about so many things that I'm not good at. So I think outsource, if you are not very good, then you have outsourced to somebody that better than you, right? And work with a team. And secondly, I think most important is still have fun, right? So when you have fun, you do not get burned out. Because to me, it's not work. It's what I want to live my life to be like. And I think I'm really enjoying my life every single day because this is exactly what I envision my life to be. Yeah.
Nice, right? And I think that I can really see that you enjoy what you do, right? With that level of drive, right? And of course, I think talking about focusing on the process, right? If I mean, it's not like immediately we get to do everything, right, that we love, right? But I think you focus on 1% at a time. Eventually, you get to a space where you might not get to the peak yet, but at least you enjoy what you do. I think that's so freaking important, right? And probably a last question, maybe on a bit of mindset, a bit of your mental models, right? Which is like when you first started drafting maybe your goals, your vision, right? Because obviously you're someone who's very driven, very excited, right? I remember when I was still in the team, right? I knew that you're always like calling people, right? Always just going for it. But people wanted to rest, you still kept going, right? You're working very hard, right? So how do you actually get that level of desire and drive, right? Was it just writing a vision board? Like, was it through someone talking to you? Like, what do you think about life and what keeps you so motivated and driven for yourself?
Okay, I think this is a great question. I also don't know why am I such a motivated person in general, but I just feel like I only live once. I think one of my motto is YOLO, right? If I only live once, how can I live the best out of it, right? Like I do not want a mediocre life. I really want a life that I can create impact. I can have a life that I can enjoy, but at the same time have fun. But in order to do that, it's definitely you have to take the path that most people don't take, right? And you need to be persistent in this journey. And that's how I think hard work is very important. I think nothing comes easy in life, but if you're willing to work hard and at the same time enjoy the process, maybe sometimes you may not get the things that you want. For example, let's say I want to become international speaker, speaking alongside with, let's say, Warren Buffett. I think may not be possible, right? But if I just work hard towards this journey, along the way, you are able to unlock goals that you have never foreseen. And I think as long as you enjoy the process and you're growing every single day, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Okay, right. So enjoying the process, right? Celebrating the wins, right?
Yes.
Like, because if all you think about is just getting the big crazy goal, right? And of course, you take some time, but you don't acknowledge yourself for the small wins, right? You're gonna feel very burnt out and tired, right? As well. Yeah, I love it. And moving on, right, to hopefully a few more tactical things, right? Because I think that's something that you really resonate and you have strengths in, right? So perhaps you want to share a bit, like at least from experiences, right? What do you think are some of the biggest mistakes that say content creators or speakers makes, right? Let's say in terms of building a brand, right, in the speaking industry, let's say TikTok. You can share your observation on some of the biggest mistakes you see people around you making, and how will you kind of like address them in this space as well?
I think the first mistake is they expect result to be very fast. I think, right? Like it boils down to the patience again, right? Because if you want to create content, you want it to take off very easily. But I really feel this is such a long game. And for myself, I also gave up along the way for some of it. And then I restart my journey again when I surround myself with the right environment. So for example, last time when I first started YouTube, oh wow, it's like, wow, so few people watch, right? Then you feel discouraged. And then because at that time I was also posting any random stuff. So I think as a content creator, you need to niche down. And I only started to really niche down on investing like since last year, right? So before that, I was just doing a lot of different things because I do a lot of things, right? So I think focus and niche down is very important. That's the first step. And secondly, is just be consistent, really be consistent about your posting and do not be discouraged, even though your posting may not be very good, right? In terms of very few views, that's okay, right? It's part of process of you growing, knowing what your audience like, what your audience don't like, and becoming better in your content creation as well. So for example, right now, my YouTube followers, not a lot, but it has grown steadily over the past 1 year. Right now, it's about 3,000 plus subscribers. And recently, I show it to Angel, and Angel said, "Wow, your video editing has become so much better." And I think that's one of the win as well, because in the past, my video editing skills sucked. But then along the way, because I keep on doing, it become better. And then I also see the views getting more consistent as well. So be consistent, be niching down. And most importantly, I think the third thing is don't be afraid of copying people, because social media is actually just about copying and modeling after the success. If you know that this content, for example, let's say you use TikTok and my niche is investing, I will actually go and search under discovery, under investing this keyword, what are the trending videos right there, and just copy, be shameless about it. But of course, you need to tweak a little bit to your own liking, to your own content as well. But because you know that it works, then you just copy after them. Your chances of taking off is so much higher, right? And same goes to YouTube as well, right? You have to see people from your niche, great YouTubers, what kind of content are they creating? And then you just use the exact title, the kind of content that they are using, and then copy a little bit and then reframe a little bit to your content, and that becomes yours, right? Because this is exactly what all the YouTubers out there are also doing. Because recently I went to the Nas Summit, I asked Ali Abdal, who has 3 million subscribers on YouTube, I asked, "Oh, how do you get all these ideas from?" And then he's talked about this book called Still Like an Artist, right? Basically, he said, just copy. So don't be ashamed of copying. And then that's how you can grow as well.
Yeah, I think by boil it down, right, is really number one, I think just focus on one big area, right? And then after that, if I combine the two tips, right, it's just consistently, right, copy, right, or modeling, right, and then of course tweaking it, right, to your own, right. And I definitely want to share, ask you a little bit about your experiences from the whole Nas Daily Summit in a bit. But so a quick one on maybe focusing on niche, right? How do you realize that investing is what you wanted? Because I know, like me, like you also enjoy a lot of different things, marketing, right, and whatnot. But so how do you decide to niche down? Was it because sometimes people tend to overthink, right? How was your approach about just say I'm going to go about all into investing, right, and I'm not going to waiver of sorts?
I think it's because I went through the process of so many different topics, then I realized that, oh, at the end of the day, I have the most passion in investing, right? Because last time I talked about travel, I also talked about sales and conversion as well. Then I feel like, okay, these are the topics I can talk, but probably a certain limitation to how much I can speak about. But investing is something that really gives me joy, that I feel like, hey, I can constantly find ideas. I personally also immerse myself in this environment every single day. Then that's when I decided to really niche down on investing. And I think in line with my branding, in terms of right now, I'm like also the head of speakers in our next level speaking for Options Millionaire Intensive, right? So I think everything's just gel. So also think about how you want to, the whole funnel, right? What is your business model like? And then how can you as a content creator help your business at the end of the day? I think I went through this process of trying out different topics, and then I end up knowing that, okay, these are the topics I do not want to talk about, and investing is the one. Because for example, last time I talked about travel, I talked about sales and conversion as well, and I realized all these topics are something that it's fun that I can talk about, but I just do not have that desire to constantly talk about it, I think. But on the other hand, investing is something that I live and breathe, and I really have passion inside. And I think most importantly, why at the end of the day I would decide to niche down investing, it also has to do with the overall business that I'm building, right? Because our class is about Options Millionaire Intensive. It's very in line with what I'm doing right now. So you have to think about what is your business funnel, and what is the objective, like at the end of the day, the brands that you want to build, right, which is for example yourself, right? How does it help to build up your business? I think that will be the key thing. And of course it must be something that you're also passionate about as well.
I hear a lot of I think number one is really that internal alignment of what you really like. And then of course, if you want to be a bit more strategic, is to linking it to your own business, your own core goals, your own core values, right? And I think when you integrate that together, right, then you can really go focus on it. But the thing, I think what most people might miss out is you first have to explore. If you don't explore, right, you won't get that clarity for yourself. All right, nice. So I guess
totally agree. It's just like dating, right? Like you get to date different people. For example, you need to see who you have to hang out with people, then you know, oh, this person cannot because it's not compatible, or that person cannot, until because you know all the things that you don't like, what is left is what you like. So it's just like investing, right? So you eliminate all the things that you don't like. What is truly left is something that you want to focus on, just like investing as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think later we might talk a bit about investing, right? But like there are so many ways to make money through investing, right? There's trading, there's options, there's investing, there's crypto, there's a combination of everything else, right? But really it's about what you like at the end of the day, right? And if you don't test it out, right? If you just think that the first time you choose it, it must be perfect, right? Then most people are in a very hard time now. We shall talk more about later as well. But yeah, because I'm actually interested to find out, because I know recently went for a huge summit. I've personally not seen any other Singaporean go. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But yeah, share a little bit about your very few, right? Yeah. What are some of your recent biggest lessons from going to the Nas Daily Summit? Some of the biggest creators, right, with millions of followers there, right? Some of the biggest lessons, right? Hopefully share with some of audience over here as well.
Okay, I think this is the best summit that I've ever attended. Like I've never seen so many great content creators over there, and they just keep on giving a lot of value. So in my opinion, like if you can next year, or maybe people who are watching, if you are very serious about building connection, learning from other creators, just go. I think this is the best summit you can ever find, right? And what did I learn? I think I really learned many different things. Be it for example, TikTok, there's a very, very famous TikToker. Her name is Erica, and she got like 8 million subscribers on TikTok channel. And she basically shared with us 6-step formula, which I copy. And that's how my channel took off as well. So the step one is, if you go and see her TikTok video later on, every single her video just follow this formula. The first one is you as somebody that is very relatable, can be a consumer, can be somebody that is noob, right? And then you're trying to ask for a favor or ask for a question, right? And then immediately you will face objection, right? So that is step two. You must be a role play, right? And then immediately you face objection. So what she does is, she's actually a lawyer, right? But then she will pretend to be a normal customer. Like for example, she will hold on to this cup and she say, "Oh, my cup, this cup I bought about 2 years ago. Now it's broken. Can I have a replacement?" And then of course the other person, which is a salesperson, then the salesperson say, "Oh no, you bought it 2 years ago. It has already passed the exchange period. Definitely we can't do that for you." So that is the obstacle, right? And the third step is, she will turn around and look at the camera and she said, she doesn't know this because I follow Erica. Now watch this. So you build a connection. That is your third step. And the fourth step is, she as a newbie, because she follow Erica's advice, then she actually present a counter argument, which is a solution that about why she can actually exchange this cup. And then fifth step is the salesperson knowing that, oh, she knows this loophole, and because she studied the terms and conditions, she said, "Oh yeah, I have no choice but to give it, like really accede to your request." And she asked, "Who taught you this?" And then the last step is, Erica did. She is a lawyer who reads the fine print, so you don't have to. That's why I follow her, right? So I think that's fantastic. And I basically use this structure to do my options video, call options and put option, and it basically just went viral. My call option, I have like close to, I think 500 to 600,000 views, and then my put option, I got like 200,000 views, and my followers grew from like 44 to more than 25,000 within a short month, because I follow her template. So I think copying really works, but of course you see, I model after her structure, and I put in my own content as well. Yeah.
Wow, that was like the answer key, right? And that's exactly how you got like from like say 40 followers all the way to 25,000 in such a short period of time, man. That sounds incredible, man. Like that's crazy. And I like it's a mix of everything we learn about persuasion, marketing, right? Relatability, storytelling, connection, right? A credibility at the end, right? Call to action, like this. That was a masterclass, right? In just all in 6 steps, man. Okay, so and I guess so I'm so curious also for me, this personally a personal question for me, right? So you also met Ali Abdal, right? Anything you love, because I also like him, right? The YouTuber, right? It was productivity, right? Side income and all, and I love what he does, right? So anything you got out from Ali Abdal himself, and this is just really a personal question.
I think Ali Abdal, he is a very, very approachable person. Like I remember I was so lucky, like during this event, anytime you can just walk up to them, like they could be like just drinking, having some snacks outside. You can walk up to them to ask questions. So for Ali Abdal, after his keynote speech, so many people started to surround him. And then he was so nice that he decided to sit down on the corridor and have a small mastermind in like on the corridor while the big conference is still ongoing. So I was going to the toilet. I was like, hey, isn't that Ali Abdal? Then just quickly join in and then just have this small mastermind. So I think along the way, so many people ask a lot of questions. So I personally asked him certain questions as well that's related to my channel. And I asked him like should I focusing on, because right now I think most of the time people who view my channel are actually guys, right? And then he said, hey, if I were you, I would probably choose, more geared towards a female kind of audience target. I think what he's trying to say is you need to define your target audience very well. That audience profile, who is he or who is she? How old is she? What kind of occupation is she having? What kind of problems? What kind of goals does she have? So he has a very clear-cut profile, and every single video that he speaks to, basically he's speaking to that person. So the video become very relatable. And then he said, even though you're trying to speak to that profile, your nuances may change, your language will change, the way that you talk to guy will be very different, talk to girl as well. But then he said, over time, as your content continues to build up, if you're adding value, different people from different walks of life will come to you as well. So it really doesn't matter. So, but I think initially having that exact specific target audience, it's important to build up your own content as you speak, especially for those who are not very fluent in terms of speaking to a camera.
I think the last one done, we go to the next last one finish, right? It's kind of finished, right? Then we go to the next question. Okay, so I love it on Nas and I love it on Ali Abdal, right? What you actually shared, right, with about him. And I realized that you don't have just to apply this on YouTube, right? You can actually apply this on your writing, right? Your Instagram, right, your TikTok, your stories as well, right? So having been clear about who you want and then driving your messages towards that particular person you want to reach out to, right? And I guess
I think one more thing I want to share. I think it was so insightful about he shared his own journey as well as a YouTube content creator. He got his first 1,000 subscribers from more than 150 videos. So he really pursued his journey so hardworkingly, so diligently. It's only after 100 plus video, his channel grew to 1,000 subscribers, right? So this is never overnight success. It's a journey, right? And then after that, his journey start to take off. After his 1,000 subs, he continued to produce content that people like, and the journey is just acceleration. So once again, it's about patience, it's about consistency, it's about compounding effect. Yeah,
that's crazy. 150 videos. I think I've done it for the past few years. I've never done close to that number, man. Whoa, that's just another big reminder, right? It's something really about patience and just keeping going the process, right, over and over again, right, to be where he is today, man. That's crazy. Exactly. Yeah, wow. And okay, I think probably last one, right, on the summit, right? But I think really we just learn, right, and grow as much as you can. But any lessons you took up from Nas, right, through the whole summit, right? Any big learning points, right, from him, right? Because obviously he's the one that organized the whole thing, right? He's very he has grown not just in terms of daily videos, but to where he is today. Anything you picked up from him in the space from Nas?
I think for Nas, I think he's just a very inspirational person, and that's why his 1 minute video really just invited and just inspired so many content creators to start producing content. So I think for me, my biggest takeaway from Nas is basically from his shirt. Right? If you still remember his shirt, it's always about how many lives he has lived and what is left, right? And I think it's very related to what we were talking about. It's about just living the best out of your life, and you only have so much life left. Why not make every single day count and just live something that you're truly passionate about? And I think this is what Nas is doing. He's using the shirt to remind himself as well, to remind so many content creators or people out there. And why not use it to remind yourself to really start this journey and have fun in this process? Yeah.
All right. And I think looking at what he has done, he has grown so freaking much, right? He's always growing, expanding, evolving. He's not resting his laurels, right? And I think what you mentioned is really just because he's always looking about the depth, right? And not wasting it, right? Making it to the fullest. Right. Yes, I loving the interview so far. Learned a lot, even myself as well. So thanks, Chloe. Right. Yeah. So moving a little bit to investing, right? Before we wrap up a few final questions, right? So in this space, right, because you have also trained lots of different investors, right? And I'm sure some principles will be similar to whatever you mentioned. But what do you think are some of the biggest mistakes most investors are making right now. And as of this interview, right, April, right, 2022, right, the market is volatile. There's ups, there's downs. Right, people are not so sure, right? I think people are spoiled, lah, right, in the past 2 years, right, because
Yes.
returns are just going up. But yeah, any biggest mistakes you have observed, and what some tips we advise for some of the folks that are struggling or a bit afraid?
I think people out there, because like what you said, they're pretty much spoiled for the past 2 years. And then sometimes you will just forget the grounds, right? You forget about the basics, right? You will be chasing after hype because there are so many pre-profit companies just keep on growing and growing for no reason. And people will just get so complacent that, oh, they think that it will forever go up, right? And I think that's the most dangerous thing. I think at the end of the day, if we can just go back to the basic and really just investing in something that truly have consistency, not just in terms of the stock price growing, but consistent in terms of how well is this business doing? Has it been consistently generating profits? And the cash flow, does it have a lot of step and everything? If you ask back these very value investing kind of questions, you will probably be having a more balanced portfolio rather than just keep on chasing those hype and growth stocks, right? So I think at the end of the day, like people sometimes the mistakes that they make is probably they are not doing the proper portfolio position sizing. So if you just investing in growth stocks, hyper growth stock especially, then you will definitely see your portfolio being tanked so much, like at least 50 to 60% drop right now just by investing in shares. If you do options, then wow, it will be even more, right? So it's having the portfolio of balancing in terms of having stable company, also having growth companies so that you can have the upside. It can even having boring businesses so that you know that, hey, even it drops, your portfolio is generally still intact and you can stick with that peace of mind, right? So I think everybody should have some that is a tailored portfolio construction, because individually people are different. Maybe some of you can be extreme risk taking and you don't mind, right? I think go ahead, right? Because you could take that volatility, but I know for most people don't. Then make sure you do have a balanced portfolio as well, and really just go back to the basic. If you feel that at the end of the day you do not understand the business well enough, then why not just also invest in the index, right? Because index like SPY, you know that definitely long term it's going to grow, may not be as fast. Then that's why you can consider using options as well to accelerate something that's very stable, and use options to accelerate your return. I think that's very simple.
Yeah, I think the fundamentals, right? Grounding yourself with the fundamentals first. I mean, it's very cliche, but I think it still goes back to the same few answers, right?
Yeah.
And then number two, right, is I like this, which is having a portfolio game plan that's personalized to you, right? I think a lot of people don't talk about personalization. They have to follow, copy others, right? And of course, if you copy, right, might be great to start. You can copy maybe for marketing, right? Like earlier what I talked about, but for investments, right, very, very dangerous, right? Eventually you'll find personalized to you. But I'm just curious, right? So of course, portfolio, sometimes people know, hey, Chloe, logically I know I need a game plan, I need my own portfolio, but sometimes emotions still come into play, right? So what do you think are some of the tips to manage emotions as an investor or trader during this very volatile period?
I think start reading more. Like for example, read some investment books. Like for example, recently I'm reading The Most Important Thing, Howard Marks, talking about risk management. Because reading help you to slow down, help you to cultivate, and help you to reflect more as well. And then if you need to, I think go for walks, right? Because if you go for, I also listen to different podcasts. For example, Motley Fool, one of the researchers, she also said that, oh, you can consider going for morning walks so that you can settle down, or maybe even before you decide to make any investment decision, right? For example, oh, I want to buy this, I want to sell this. Oh, but before you make a decision, why not go for a walk and then really let the time settle down and ask yourself, is this something that you truly want to do, right? I think that is quite practical, right? But of course, you need to make an effort to go out of the house to walk for 10 minutes, right? But I think that can help to calm you down. But I think most importantly is really surround yourself with the right environment. If you keep on surrounding yourself with traders like trade 3 a.m., for sure you will be very emotionally affected, because you are seeing the market every single day, right? You are participating every single day. That's like very stressful to me. If you surround yourself with the passive investor environment that really focus on fundamentals, they talk about the overall, for example, for our community, we talk about the overall economy outlook, how is it doing, what is the game plan for not just short term but for long term. I think you will really have the psychology, the stability that you need in order to invest for the long term, because that's what we want to do as well.
Right. So what I'm getting from this entire space, right, is when you're talking about playing with markets, right? And how do you ground yourself at the end of the day, right? When there's volatility, what taking walks, right? Surrounding yourself, the environment, right? Reading books, and all this really just grounds yourself. Because if we just left up to our own overthinking, right, there is when the dangerous decisions come, right? I think those are damn powerful tips, especially for experience like struggling investors, right, who are still not so used to the ups and downs of the market, man. I love it. And okay, so I think moving to the broader side of things, because I know you have trained not just in terms of like train in terms of investing, trading, right, speaking, marketing. You have trained all over the world, Japan, right, Taiwan, other countries, right? So I guess over your career, right, speaking, training, right, what do you think are some of your biggest observations of people who attend the same course and get same information, right, but achieve drastically different results? Some people can get it fast, right, strong fundamentals, go for it, but some people might still be stuck, all right, or not at where they're like. What do you think are some of your own observations of the different characteristics, right? I think that could help a lot of our folks over here as well.
Okay, I think firstly, I think there's this like people always like to learn, right? So that's why they go for courses after courses. I think it's good because you learn new knowledge, right? But at the end of the day, you have to take action. But I know when you attend it, you may not want to take action immediately because either you are afraid or whatsoever. There's a lot of doubts in front of you, despite the fact that you know that it works, right? Or maybe you get busy and you forget about it. So I really think the environment is the most important thing, because when you have the proper environment that push you to take action, that guide you to take action, you will definitely take action, right? Because I have seen, like, for example, through our courses as well, people who attended our 3-day class, they could not do, like, some of them, because they are not surrounding themselves with the right environment, either they screw up their own portfolio or they don't take any action, right? Because they are afraid, right? The options is something very new. However, for those who are, let's say, who are inside of a mentorship, when you constantly have the right environment, the mentors pushing you, guiding you to take action, how can you not take action, right? Especially that it's a mentorship that you personally invested heavily into, and that's why you have the skin in the game. You will definitely want to take action. So I think environment is the most important thing. But of course, we are not saying that, you have the skin in the game, you will definitely take action. And that's why I think the second thing is you have to have a strong why, right? Because what is the reason why you must take action, right? Because if you don't take action, you don't have a strong why, no matter how much money that you pay, if that's not painful for you, you are not going to take action. So I think find that strong why you want to be successful in this area. And then after that, surround yourself with the right network, right environment, you will really grow. Because, for example, for my own TikTok little journey, right? Actually, I already started. I have a TikTok account 1 year ago, about like, okay, since last year. But back then, I didn't have the right environment. I was just anyhow randomly posting it. So it wasn't growing at all, right? And then this year, Sean, he started a CCA called Social Media CCA. And because it's a CCA, it's an environment, right? So everybody inside the CCA, inside our company, who inside this, you will start posting content, right? And then they will also guide. Okay, he will guide you. Oh, hey, step 1, you need to model after the success. You guys can do this, do that, do this, do that. So he's guiding us. And after that, because you are in the right environment, we started taking action, and we see, hey, this person posted 7 videos a week. How come I only post 1 or 2, right? And that's when you feel like, okay, I better buck up, I better do more, right? So having this environment really pushed me to be persistent in my journey. And once the habit is formed, you will accelerate. So right now, I think my habit has been built. Next, it just keep on going. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's also a lot of similar things to what I talk about, right? Talk about environment, right? Because ultimately, if you get out there, right, you don't have anyone to support you, to keep you accountable, to give you feedback, right? It's going to struggle so much, right? Of course, linking it to the big why, like, at the end of the day, right? I can go for TikTok course, right? But if you don't know why you're going to do it, right, you're not going to do anything with it as well. Yeah, if not, I guess I think that comes to the end of the interview. I think we learned so much, right? Not just from investing, but marketing, right? We'll talk about mindset, perspectives, right? But drive as well, right? So I guess, yeah, Chloe, any final words for some of our folks out there, right, who might be considering to start, right, or continue to just continue to grow their journey on investing, business, right, doing what they want to achieve their dreams, right? Any final words for them? And of course, where can they find you if they want to follow you and find out more about what you do as well?
Okay, I think once you set your mind that you want to do something, just do it, right? Because you don't want to regret, right? You only have so much life that's left. what is the greatest risk that you can take? It's like there's nothing to lose when you want to start up anything. There's nothing to lose, but there's so much to gain. As long as you're willing to try, you're willing to test out, you will definitely gain a lot of things, be it learning, be it experience. And if you do well, you will get monetary award, right? Or even your own personal branding award as well. So I think there is just infinite possibilities that you can do as long as you are willing to step up this journey, right? And yeah, how can you follow me? I have my own Telegram channel, Ali Abdal Investor, or if you just search on YouTube, on TikTok, Ali Abdal Investor, you'll be able to find me as well. So yeah, I think this is where we can continue to get connected. I post a lot of investing insights over there, so really look forward to connect with you over there as well.
Nice. And you can see what were the videos, the TikTok videos that got her from 44 to 25,000 followers as well. All right, so thank you so much, Chloe. Just want to acknowledge you for already giving all out, right? Sharing your perspectives, your learnings, your lessons, right? I think your energy is something that that inspires, right, a lot of people, right? And I think that a lot of people could do well with, and of course having those grounded investment principles, right, to help people out as well. Right, so thanks, Chloe. I'll see you soon, and for the rest of the audience, I'll see you soon for next round of Master Inventors interviews. Right, bye, folks. Thanks, Chloe.
Thank you.